The Xenomorph is one of the most iconic horror creatures in all of pop culture. But, Your Honor, if you examine the evidence, you'll see that this alien species has done nothing wrong and is largely misunderstood.
Yes, and also I believe we are making legal history here, as our client is not just one person or being, but a whole species. And it's that way because they really do need defending. These guys are way overly demonized. In this, we're basically just going to be covering Alien 1 and Aliens, which is the second movie. But if you guys want more alien content, let us know. We might do one more video anyway because of the Alien Earth series coming out. But anyway, let's get into the alleged crimes of the Xenomorph from Alien.
Yeah, let's go in order of the deaths on the Nostromo, starting with Kane, the character played by John Hurt. So he dies because an alien bursts from his chest. But let's just rewind the tape here a little bit, right? What was Kane doing? Kane didn't just wake up one day and he had an alien burst from his chest. No, Kane was fumbling around doing like a Mr. Magoo investigation within the, we now know it's the engineer's ship, the stranded ship that the crew goes and investigates, and he could have just left those eggs alone, but no, he just wants to go right up to him and just like, oh, I wonder what this is. I wonder what it tastes like. It's like watching basically a monkey if you threw a loaded revolver into one of their cages, and you're like, holy shit, this thing's about to blow its own brains out if it knew anything what was going on. And he knows better. He knows better not to do something.
He should know better. And as painful as it is to say, dude, this is like textbook social Darwinism. I mean, right?
Yes.
Let's not forget here, these are xenomorphs. These are not human beings. They might be intelligent, but they're not hyper-intelligent like a human. They're also not building a spaceship and going to Earth to try to screw around with your, maternity wards. They're just chilling out, doing their own thing on this planet, and no, what happens? The rowdy boys from Weyland-Yutani got to come over here and start messing with their stuff, right? If, of course, a wild animal, I'd like to see somebody go and try to snuggle up in like a hibernating bear's nest in the middle of winter and see how that works out for you. Is it going to work out for you? No, it's not. And are you going to blame the bear when they try to defend their territory? No, you will not. You absolutely will not.
I also wonder how many crews Weyland has sent out there, because we know by the end of this movie that the corporation purposely stopped them to investigate this.
Right.
But I wonder how many possible crews out there went by, didn't disrupt the eggs, left, just decided like, hey, yeah, there's nothing here. Just a warning beacon, but we don't know how to shut it off, so let's head out of here. And they just happened to strike gold, because I doubt this is the very first shot they took at this spaceship.
Yeah, not their first rodeo, right?
Right. The other part of this is Alien, the facehugger goes on Kane's face. It implants an egg inside of him. It bursts out. The xenomorphs can't help the fact that nature made them this way. They were born this way, right?
They were born this way,
is just
yeah.
how they produce. Like, are you going to get mad at them because that's just the way they... we should never judge anybody because they're born that way, right, Gator?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, you look at another human being and you think, oh, there's one of my fellow man. One of these face huggers looks at a human being and it's like, oh, dude, there it is. Finally, like a hole for my seed. Like, this is about time. I'm about to, fulfill my biological purpose. To them, that is no different than two human beings meeting each other, falling in love, having consensual sex after marriage, of course, and producing a beautiful family. That is the actual equivalent. Listen, moral relativism wins in the alien universe, okay? I don't make the rules.
Yeah, we can't judge this alien creature with our 22nd century standards and morality. These guys have been out there for however long. And on top of it, too, after this alien is born, it's immediately born into a situation where everyone wants to kill it. I mean, can you just put the alien shoes on for a second and just walk a mile and just understand that you're just literally born and everyone wants to kill you? Like, what kind of trauma that puts on a person? Like, come on, guys, just cut this guy some slack.
Well, it's extremely traumatizing, and not only that, you have to now imagine how many times this exact same trauma has been inflicted on members of the species, and I'm sure some of them survived having this trauma, which then, as we know, leads to generational trauma down the line, which I'm sure has made them a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more, on edge. But God, they need to. Look what happens throughout this franchise at large, right? As soon as these things are discovered, they're either immediately targeted for death or weaponization, which basically means permanent slavery. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, this is the 22nd century. And as of the new show Alien Earth, we know that like 21st and 20th century films and from real life are like canon in that world, right? So it's like, dude, these guys, these aliens, they've all picked up radio signals from across the universe. They've seen District 9. They don't want to end up like the prawns, man. That's exactly what they see that in their future. That's exactly how it's going to be.
Imagine how many times you have to be messed with as a species for you to develop acid blood, as a defense mechanism.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Only the species with acid blood were able to survive, or the whatever offspring or that little subsect of these aliens, because they were able to defend themselves from little prodders like these people here.
Speaking of this effort to kill these guys, all right, Brett, he's the next death. He chases after the cat, right? Because they think that the cat needs to be found so that the Xenomorph can't track the cat and can't cause all this commotion. They want to be as covert as possible. So he's chasing after the cat. He's not being very stealthy or quiet. He gets into this part where there's like a shower system, or it's like some kind of a irrigation.
How does he know it's water? I don't know what it is. He's just dripping on his face. That can't be good. Even if it's just leaking water from some pipe, that place does not look pristine or clean.
No, it's definitely not well maintained whatsoever. And
I'm just saying, when Brett dies, the average IQ of this ship skyrockets.
Well, I'm saying that Brett, as soon as he had this water thing happen to him, I don't know how much time do you think the alien even saved when he killed him in his life? Like how much life did he take away from Brett? Like 2-3 days? Because he's bound to get some kind of waterborne illness from this move. He had this little Vegeta moment, standing in the rain thinking about the next Super Saiyan transformation. It was completely ridiculous. He's also washing himself off like a piece of produce, And so if the Xenomorph sees this, it's like, man, I don't eat humans, necessarily, because I don't think the Xenomorphs actually feast upon them. I don't think that's what they do. But it's like, they're not that stupid where they're like, dude, this guy's preparing himself to be eaten. I guess I'll oblige him and kill him. Maybe another carnivore can follow my steps and find this guy. I prepare a meal for him. You know what I mean? That's not bad.
And the way he dies, too, he's trying to save the cat. He's trying to save Jones. What a pathetic way to die. Why would you have a cat on this ship? Any people that are cat people, just go ahead and unsubscribe, please. You're the true villains in life, and we will not defend you.
I would actually argue that, canonically, if there had been a dog on board, the Xenomorph never would have killed anybody, because he would have at least seen that one redeeming quality, despite all the aggression. It's just like, all right, these people, they're just ignorant. They don't understand. There's still good in them. I see with the kind of company that they keep. And maybe the dog and the alien could like meet eyes and just kind of make one like little mutual nod toward each other. You know what I mean? Like that mutual understanding, and then they go their separate ways. So,
or if the alien just saw a clean Brett. Well, we saw a dirty Brett before, but at that point he's clean. He just looks, like you said, like fresh produce for him. And I mean, people like Brett. Brett is great casting for this too, because they're trying to go for this kind of trucker look, kind of blue collar look. It's great casting, but he is not a good looking guy, and he's probably one of the reasons why I never became a lot lizard in life is people like him. Well, let's go with the captain of the ship, the guy that should have the most IQ theoretically, right? Dallas.
Yes.
He let this whole thing happen. If he would have just kept Kane off the ship and he was like, hey, he's contaminated, leave him out there, or let's send Ash out there to go, because he's the medical scientist guy on the ship, right? But he breaks protocol. He should know better.
I sort of blame Ash even more than Dallas for this. But, dude, Dallas is pretty bad, too. What does he think? Like, oh, there's this super dangerous, like the most dangerous possible thing we possibly could be encountering here, running around our ship. I think I'll go in the tiniest, most confined space possible, where if I do run into this thing, it has like 1,000 times more mobility and able to maneuver than me, And I think I'll just be armed with like a little flame. It's the dumbest thing he could have done. I would say rest in peace. But I think it's completely deserved. I don't understand what he was thinking. This alien sees this. He says, this is what you're sending after me. This is pathetic. I'm not even going to give you an epic death or any kind of a cool thing. I'm not going to give you anything to write home to your kids about. This is just going to end immediately.
Yeah, and the whole time watching it, too, I just think of Kurt Russell from The Thing with a flamethrower and a beard.
Right.
And I just think of a much more intelligent, high-T man than Dallas. So rest in peace, Dallas.
Yep.
But Parker, the only person of color on this ship.
Correct.
Which I'm very disappointed on the lack of diversity on the Nostromo.
It's pretty embarrassing.
Only one black person on here. But immediately when they're like, hey, we're stopping because there's a SOS signal, we have to stop. And he's like, what? Is there any money out of it? It's like, dude, shut the hell up. Can you imagine being stranded out in the middle of nowhere in space? Not even like the middle of like the sea, middle of space. And this guy's like, oh, are we going to get a bonus? That's like, shut the hell up, dude. Ooh.
Plus, it's not even that. It's like, dude, you signed the contract. You know the nature of this job. Like, why are you even bitching? No one's going to be on your side here. But before we get too crazy, I want to make sure that the jury is well aware there is no evidence whatsoever, contrary to the popular claims, that this was a hate crime from the Xenomorph, okay? Hate crimes are intent-based, Your Honor, and I want the jury to... I want it stricken from the record, okay, in this court, that there's any evidence of a hate crime based on Parker's death.
I'm glad you brought that up because cats are known to be they play with their food a lot.
Correct.
The aliens don't play with their food. They just seem very defensive, very have to like be provoked into survival interactions where they end up killing people. So yeah, Parker, rest in piss. Like you had nothing much to bring other than diversity, and even that you were a bad representation, just thinking about money and complaining the whole time.
Yeah, true. It was very stereotypical. Didn't like it at all. Who's the next? Is it Lambert that dies next?
Yes. Speaking of useless, annoying people,
Yeah,
Lambert,
right.
what does she even bring to the table? If you think of this as like a classic horror film, this person would be the slut or the person that shows their tits and ass on the screen to keep people's attention.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of that because I think it's just so played out and it's like really brings nothing to story. But she really doesn't bring anything. At least you could justify that's eye candy for like some entertainment value. But what does she bring? She just complains and screams and just says, "We got to get out of here."
Just irrational, like the wrong plans. Whatever plan is like most rational, she's gonna do the exact opposite. She doesn't think, and she suffers for it, dude. Like, listen, the Xenomorph gets a little freaky deaky kind of hentai tentacle action. You know what I mean? Right before the death there. We don't know exactly what happens. We don't, but it couldn't have been pretty. I don't even know what happened to the rest of the body. I think we just see like a limb or two, right? So she definitely suffered greatly, but it's because she was screaming the whole time. Okay, Xenomorph's got to get some rest too, and he's already wound up. He's way wound up at this point. Everybody's giving him a bad time. Did they ever think maybe just opening the doors to this place and like letting the Xenomorph out? Maybe he's trying to find his way out. They ever think of that?
Yeah, or just like leave him alone. Let him go to his dark little corner and just let him hang out there. Instead, they just constantly have to provoke him. It's just like those mornings where you don't have an attitude problem, but everyone comes up and is like, are you upset? Are you not happy right now?
Dude,
Shut up, stop.
I'm tired, dude. It's like, calm down. I just woke up.
I'm literally just born. Chill, guys, chill. Ash does come out and say that he's the perfect organism that this alien is. So, I mean, the person that has arguably the most intelligence on the ship can appreciate this creature and probably its just causes as well.
Agreed, and I also think that appreciation was mutual. I think that the Xenomorph looked back at Ash and kind of gave him like that little affirmative nod as well, like, game respects game. Like, if I was the Xenomorph, okay, in my position, and I see this guy, I have this little sense about me, right? Like, okay, there's something different about this Ash guy. He has not that big of emotion. He's way smarter than the rest of them. He's got semen for blood, right? There's something up with that. I think that whatever he does, I'm going to basically follow that. Okay, this is my guide. And what does he see him do? Who lets the face hugger onto the ship? It's Ash. He opens the door. Okay, this guy is created by humans. Ash is. He is a testament to the humans just begging to destroy themselves. All right, he's an AI that can overrule a competent human, Ripley, and just let people in anywhere and basically usher in their own demise. Right? It's like Ash is a safeguard built into the mission to ensure that they get clapped. You know what I'm saying? I think the Xenomorph looked at this and said, like, all right, like, if this is the ultimate goal of the humans, and these guys are being aggro to me anyway and kind of, giving me the reason, why wouldn't I? I'll help you along. Like, Ash, please, allow me to help you. Notice that the Xenomorph didn't kill Ash. No. The humans killed Ash.
Yeah, the Ash is not a danger to the alien whatsoever,
Oh, good friends, man. They could have rode off into the sunsets like at the end of The Last Crusade. Best ending of all time.
Dude, I just want some commissioned fanfic of Ash and Xeno, the little adventures they would go on together.
Oh, it'd be so good, dude. It'd be so good.
Okay, so now let's go to the sequel, Aliens. What an original title, too. Go from Alien to Aliens. Can't be confusing whatsoever.
No.
Mostly focusing on just Hadley's Hope's killing. So, like, the deaths that occur in that one colony that is now on that same planet where they found where the Nostromo stopped in the first movie. Let's kind of go in chronological order here, right? Again, the colonists. Gator, how do you justify the aliens killing the colonists on Hadley's Hope?
Effortlessly, Your Honor, the jury. These colonies are not just random colonies that were benevolently built. No. These colonies are built essentially right on top of the alien hive over a 50-year period or whatever after Ripley's initial message, sending back to Wayland. So they know what's up. And also, as we've established, Wayland also knew what was up with this place prior to this, at least a little bit to some extent, right? They know that there's danger here. That's like building your kids who are all allergic to bees a treehouse network above like the biggest wasp nests you've ever seen. Like, you choose these trees to build these big play areas for your kids. That's what that's like. The colony suddenly goes dark, and you guys start questioning. Oh, what's that? What happened? Why would all the colonists suddenly die? I don't understand. We only built it atop a horde of the most dangerous creatures in the universe. I mean,
right,
I'm
and
baffled,
the whole
dude.
reason. And the whole reason why they die, too, just basically follows the steps of what happened on the Nostromo, where they were told to go out and investigate something. They go investigate, they get infected, they come back, they probably don't follow protocols once
Definitely
again,
not.
and they cause all these issues. They're also trying to, examine what's going on with these aliens. Like, dude, again, if you're one of these aliens and you're being examined, of course you're not going to like that. I wouldn't like being examined. I don't even like having the doctors put their little stethoscope thing on me. It's like, dude, stop. Like, you can see I'm breathing fine. Like, chill. Like, you don't need to put that shit on.
Yeah, just skip to the prostate exam, okay? Let's get the boring shit over with. But it's 100% true. And the colonists die, right? The colonists are all dead. It's completely understandable why they would die. And you'd think maybe they'd learn their lesson by now, because again, we don't know how many crews there really are down here. We don't know how many attempts this makes, right? But it's at least two that we know of. Actually, at least three that we know of. But now, in response to this, we get a bunch of rowdy corporate Marines rolling up, to this place. Yeah, with their Chevy Silverados, shooting off rounds in the air, like just constantly making so much sound. And they're rowdy. These guys are rowdy as hell, spitting and pissing everywhere, disrespecting and threatening the nest. Like, dude, are you kidding me? You walk through the wrong woods in real life playing that shit, and a mountain lion will literally eat your ass. So I don't know what they expected with this. Is this the Xenomorph's fault?
No, it's not. And the colonists, too, they didn't kill all the colonists, right? Newt is still alive. That person in the webs that is begging to be killed, we don't know if that person had suicidal ideations before this. We have no idea. Like, we can't assume that this is what's causing it. I mean, yeah, maybe it is. But, yeah, with the U.S. colonial Marines coming in, yeah, they are just the biggest, rowdiest bunch come down. And they're led by the most feckless leader I think I've seen in almost all of science fiction. Lieutenant Gorman has no combat experience, sends his space Marines into an area where they can't shoot off pulse rifles. Otherwise, it's going to, like, I forgot exactly what the laydown was, but they couldn't use any pulse rifles or grenades. Otherwise, it was going to blow up the whole entire building.
Because they were like beneath a nuclear reactor or something like that, and it was like a chance of setting it off. But even then, some of the rowdy Marines, they like held on to some ammo.
Yeah, well, of course, Drake and Vasquez, the machine gunners who nonstop are thinking about scissoring each other.
Yeah,
and yeah, of course they hide their bullets. Another great a reason why these Marines should die, and I don't feel any sympathy towards them. All the people I feel sympathy towards for the Space Marines end up living, right? So Bishop, Hicks, those are the two that are kind of more so on the mission.
Right, yep.
By itself. Ripley adds on, but she doesn't do anything bad, I don't think, or to justify her death. And Newt, too. Yeah, they're all the people that live I have no issues with. It's the people like Lieutenant Gorman, Drake and Vasquez, Hudson, the Bill Paxton character is like, no, game over, man, game over. Dude, he's an idiot. He's like a louder version of Brett from the first one. Imagine if Brett actually had a voice, he could say what he wanted. This is probably what we'd say. He also, like the way Hudson dies, which, I mean, we don't know if he's dead. We just see him dragged off into a pit.
It's safe to assume.
But he has like a weird dialogue with the aliens before. It's like, you want some? Oh, you want some too? It's like, dude, shut up. Like, Gator, if I'm standing in front of you and saying you want some, you probably come to me, right? You probably approach me. Yes, I would like some.
That is
in my native language.
Yeah, well, if you say it to me in my native language, yes, it's a beckoning call, right? It's a call, and I will respond. And I think a lot of the deaths like that are just stupid in here, man. Like, what's that guy's name? Oh, he's one of the best names in this. Spunkmeyer, right? Spunkmeyer. He goes back to the ship, right? He goes back to the ship. The alien's stowed away. And
what's this? He's like climbing up on the thing. Oh, yeah. Huge red flag.
What's this? Gives it a smell. Oh, goes back for the second smell. Oh, that's pretty sure that's what happened right after the scene cut. But anyway, he takes off in the ship. The alien's stowed away. Next thing we see, the ship crashes. You know what really happened behind there? Listen, no one really has this information. This might be breaking news in this courtroom, but I actually got some behind-the-scenes information. They actually formed a bond on this ship, and it was so strong, the Spunkmeyer, the Xenomorph was pretty nervous about it. He was not ready, and he made that very clear, the Xenomorph did. But Spunkmeyer's like, no, it's your turn to pilot. It's your turn. You're ready. Try to pilot it. You're good to go. You're going to make it out. We're going to go pick up the crew, and we're going to get out of here. But look what happened. Crashed, and killed both of them. All because Spunkmeyer was way too hot on the guns, trying to let his buddy fly the ship. It's just more human irresponsibility that leads to the death of both humans and xenomorphs, dude. This is the kind of shit we're dealing with.
Spunkmeyer, come on.
Dude,
you cannot
come on.
trust someone named. I mean, the number one person that is justified in his death in all of this is the sleazy business guy for Wayland, Burke.
Yeah.
He is, the whole reason why he wants it too, he tries to justify it for Ripley, be like, hey, listen, we should bring this alien back. We should. Like, can you imagine the money? It's not even the scientific advancements or like some sort of autistic tick he has where it's like, listen, this is a brand new discovery. What we could do? He's like, think of the money. And this character was so compelling for James Cameron that he eventually just kind of put this person in Avatar as well. Where you know what I'm saying? Like the unobtainium, the corrupt business guy that's like, whose eyes turn into dollar signs any chance he can.
Yeah, you're right. His death was completely justified. There was one death in here that was not very justified, actually, and this is Frost, right? One of the two Black Marines on this team now, so they upped their game a little bit. Like, that's not bad. But the thing is, when the Xenomorph rightfully was dragging away and killing one of the other Marines, I can't remember that one's name right now, was kind of grabbed it kind of like Spider-Man style, right, and was pulling the Marine up. This selfish-ass Marine that was about to die sees Frost there and says, like, well, I'm not going to go down alone. You're coming with me, Frost. Like, we came into this world together. We're going out together. They're not even related, by the way. So he turns out his flamethrower and starts roasting Frost alive, burned by his own man. Your Honor, that was a hate crime. That was a hate crime, human-on-human hate crime. Later on in the movie, we get the other Black Marine. I think his name's Apone. Yeah, right? He's also Black. That one was killed by a Xenomorph, and he was not killed in a hate crime because he was being extremely loud, causing fires, explosions. He was really contributing heavily to the basically riot on the ship. Okay, so that one was justified. Frost, not justified. Killed by a human, hate crime. Let's just get that clear.
Yeah, I like Sergeant Apone for the most part, but he is just so annoying with his motivation. Like, it's come on. He doesn't say devil dogs at any point, but that's something they would say in the Marine Corps. Like, come on, devil dog. Let's make sure we have a hard on for General Mattis before we go out there and shit like that. And on top of it, the way he chooses cigar is so annoying and gross. I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it too. That's what I'm saying. His death is totally justified. I mean, he's polluting the environment. He's just being annoying socially. Like, you don't have to be a human to understand that this guy's got to go, right? What do you think about the Queen and Ripley's situation?
Well, in defense of the Queen here real quick, she's just minding her own business laying eggs, which is great on her, just on a little grind set over there. But when the Queen comes to approach Ripley, she uses the elevator. Like, what great manner. She doesn't climb. She just gets on the elevator, hits whatever floor Ripley's on, and then rides the whole thing up. I mean, that's not. She's probably just coming there to confront her and be like, hey, listen, I think there's a misunderstanding. You literally committed a slight murder spree on my people, and I would like to hopefully negotiate and find a right way to conclude this.
It's like, hey, you and me need to have a talk now. That's basically.
Ripley calls her a bitch.
I know, bitch. Is she really being a bitch, or is she being like the best mother ever? Listen, when Ripley confronts the Queen for the first time in that like little gestation area, right, the maternity ward, she has that flamethrower pointed right at those fuckers, right? And the Queen looks, has basically the Queen basically signals to these warriors that are going to come and defend the eggs to back off because the Queen can understand, like, no, guys, don't do it. Ripley's going to burn this. In this moment, I'm making a pact with Ripley. We are not.
She's not a complete idiot.
Yeah,
we can communicate and talk.
Exactly.
Rational human beings.
I'm going to let Ripley walk away slowly, and in exchange, our eggs will survive. She gets to go safe. And Ripley gets like just out of arm's reach of all of these Xenomorphs. And what does she do? She just starts unloading. She just drops all the fuel as much as humanly possible from this flamethrower and torches all the eggs. Of course, the Queen's going to be pissed about this right then. Are you shitting me? She torches that big, the egg layer too. The thing looks like Cell's tail, that spits out Android 18. Right. Mm-hmm. She destroys that too. What do you expect the Queen to do, dude? Ripley's makes a full body language contract with the Queen and then destroys her. It's completely uncalled for.
It's an act of passion at worst. At best, it's just, a rightful chase down of the Queen to Ripley when she confronts her finally. Yeah, this is totally justified by the Queen.
I just want to ask the jury one question here. Vasquez, right? The one that Don was talking about scissoring earlier. Vasquez is arguably the origin of the Michelle Rodriguez archetype. Do we need any other justification than that?
For that reason alone, not guilty. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more content like this and smash that like button.
Or not. We don't care.